This woman was tortured for 19 years by the one person who was supposed to protect her. When Victoria Spry was 5 years old, she was placed into the foster care of a woman named Eunice Spry. From the very beginning, it was hell. Eunice would beat Victoria with sticks, with her fists, with whatever was nearby. She would force Victoria to eat her own vomit. If she threw up from the pain or the fear, Eunice would scoop it up and shove it back into her mouth. She forced her children to eat rat excrement. She rubbed her skin with sandpaper and steel wool until they bled. She stuck pins and needles into their bodies. She shoved sticks down Victoria's throat. She held her head underwater until she thought she was going to die, then pulled her up, then did it again. Over the years, Eunice took in more foster children, 5 children total, and she hated all of them. And just to make sure they couldn't tell anyone what was going on, she pulled all of them out of school and told authorities she was homeschooling them, but they never actually learned anything. Their days were filled with pain, starvation, and boredom. But after a while, the abuse became so normal that the children stopped reacting the way Eunice wanted. So Eunice bought a remote farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. There, completely isolated from everyone, with no neighbors, no witnesses, and no one to hear them scream, she got worse. She would whip the soles of Victoria's feet. She made the children sleep in barns with no water and no electricity in winter. And Christopher, one of Victoria's brothers, was tied by his feet to the back of a van and dragged across a field. He blacked out from the pain, and when he woke up bleeding, it kept going. And Eunice convinced him it was all Victoria's fault, which isolated her even more. It was the perfect plan for Eunice to hide her abuse, because if anyone ever drove past and saw dirty, exhausted children on a farm, it just looked like kids doing chores. And she went even further than that. She coached the children to fake symptoms of autism. She trained them how to behave in front of doctors so they'd get diagnosed. And once they were diagnosed, they were put on medication they didn't actually need. For nearly 20 years, no one helped them, until one day when Victoria went to church with Eunice. One of the women saw the sandpaper marks all over her face and asked to speak with her privately. Victoria told her everything, and finally, the world started seeing Eunice for the monster that she really was. Eunice Spry was convicted in 2007 with 14 years in prison, but she was released after 7 for good behavior.